Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we get a 5 games. We actually have a decent amount of games to talk about, all things considered, with it being playoff baseball time. We have 5 games in the NHL, 4 games in Major League Baseball. I've moved on all 4 already. I've doubled up on a couple games. I've singled up on a couple games. I haven't doubled up on any of the National League games, is one thing I've noticed. I only doubled up on the American League games. So there's that for tonight. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at yesterday. One went right, one went wrong. If a play was not in hockey, I won. If it was in hockey, I lost. Hockey was a clean reverse sweep, and it's just been an embarrassing start to the year. One of the sports that's supposed to be one of my best sports started 0-5. I have not moved on a single game so far for this card. And I know I will, but I want to talk things out first and do stuff like that. Kraken -1. They had a 2-0 lead, and they let that slip away with, I think, 3 goals within 2.5 minutes for the Blues. That was frustrating there. The Bruins just never started. Luckily, I did grab some plus 3.5 live with them. So there was that, I guess. And then the Blackhawks plus 142, they fell apart late too. So frustrating there. College football had one play only, and it came through. Plus 17.5 with FIU in that game. And one thing I did notice, Tim, is we need to do more videos on these random standalone college football games, because that Liberty video, the FIU Liberty video, got 800 views. So there's that. And then the MLB 3-0 sweep. The MLB playoffs have continued to be really, really strong, which is why I feel okay with firing away on the board. Mets first 5 -110. Mets full game -109. Winner. As they are 1 game away from the National League Championship Series. Not bad for a Bird year.
Yeah, no, right.
And then the Padres team total over 4.5 plus 115. And I did move on. I have moved on this Padres game tonight. That's going to be an interesting game tonight.
Too.
And I dove deep into the numbers here, and I found a spot I really like on that game. I kind of want to add I kind of want to go back to the well with the team total over, but something tells me maybe pump the brakes on that. I don't know yet. But a 3-0 night in MLB, a 1-0 night in college football. I need to get hockey right. And luckily, we're only 5 games into the season. So it's not like it's the end of the season. We can't turn this thing around. It's literally 5 games in. And we have 5 games today. So for all we know, I can play multiple games here today and be right back in the positives in 2 days. So, So with that being said, positive day yesterday. Wish hockey could have gone better, but hey, if you can find spots to improve on, there you go. But overall, profitable day from yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good day yesterday, and I'm ready to kind of just fire away on. I'm going through and I'm getting some player props for the MLB for today, and I think I'm going to be firing a bunch on player props, which throughout the rest of the postseason. Pulling up yesterday's. Oh, they did grade it. Somehow, some way, I did not get the over in that Seattle game.
Yeah,
it was 3-2 heading into the third and finished 3-2. I got the over in the Mets game, never in doubt, along with the New York Mets. My biggest play of the day, Mark Vientos over his bases. I put 2 units on that one.
Ooh,
so that I end up cashing for a plus 135. That was nice. Bruins suck, and the Blackhawks suck. So 0-3 start in the NHL for me, because I don't count the Buffalo games, because those are homer games as official stuff. But 0-3 start to that. I do have 5 plays loaded up and ready to go for NHL today. Yes, I bet every single game. I don't know why, but I did. And I bet every single game on the card in general today, besides the college football game. I did not bet the college football game.
I did get involved with the college football game, and I did take the points with New Mexico State in that game. And I did a free pick video for that. So if you want my explanations, it's in the free pick video.
Sounds good. Nick, do you want to go ahead and say hi to the chat? And then are we hopping into hockey first? Or
we're going to do hockey first, then baseball.
Okay. Then you can go ahead hop into the chat, and we'll go from there.
Yep. Let's get into it here. Boston lost. Yeah, Logan Cooley over half a point winner. Teravainen over. There you go. Hall under 2.5 shots. There you go. 3-1. But had 2 units on Boston, so basically 3-2. Still a profitable day. Yeah. And Padres over 4.5 runs. Yeah, the Padres are just keep rolling. That offense is lethal. We'll talk about that in a little bit. FIU got them plus 7.5 live. That was a sweat, but won with the hook. There you go. Yeah, I had 17.5. It was beautiful. 5-2 on the day. There you go. And Robert completely faded me and did really well. So, good job. What's good, Markel? Mets money line, Mets and Padres money line parlay. Love it. Love it. Rangers minus 105 on Hard Rock. I will be moving on the New York Rangers minus 1. That is one.
I already took their cup line.
I will be moving on the Rangers today. Yes. Mets and Padres World Series. Well, that would be the National League Championship Series, but yeah. My friend has a Mets World Series ticket. Me too. He loves the Mets, just like you guys. Yeah, I put when I signed up for DraftKings when it became legal in North Carolina, the first bet I made on that using the free bets was the New York Mets to win the World Series at 45-1. That was the first bet I made for that. So I'm a homer POS, but it is what it is. But if the Mets win the World Series, that's an over $1,100 payday.
Nice.
So there's that. Padres would beat the Mets in the World Series. They would never play them in the World Series. So excited for the Canes. Yeah, me too. I locked it in. I looked in my future on the Canes yesterday. Under 100.5 wins for the Carolina Hurricanes. 100.5 points. Yeah. Under for the Hurricanes. I look forward to finding spots to fade them this year because I think they take a big step down. New Mexico State plus 21. Let's go. Yes. I'm on the Aggies. Yeah. First half money line. Whoa. Okay. McKinnon versus Eichel. I kind of like the under in that game. We'll get into that in a few minutes. Bedard and Tuvo point parlay, never in doubt. There you go. Let's talk some hooky, eh? Right? Yeah. Let's get these embarrassments on the screen there with the records. Let's get into it. Usually, this is a spot that I love to jump on right away. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. We have the Maple Leafs as minus 180 favorites in this game, total 6.5. This line puzzles me. It opened up at a 169. Nice. Then it went immediately up to 182, and it's basically been sitting around the 185, 182 mark, and it's a 185. Now, we've had a big move towards the Leafs, but it was early movement towards the Leafs, and it's kind of settled at that 180 number. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 108. It's now at 6.5 minus 126. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here. See if we can really make any sense of this game here. Well, the line move towards the Maple Leafs makes sense with 86% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on them. 67% of the tickets is on the over, but only 46% of the cash. So the sharp money coming on the under. And they're taking all that sharp money on the under, and they're bumping the total up towards the over, which tells me we see some goals in this game. I want to take a look to see who's the potential goaltenders in this game. I think Joseph Woll for the Leafs. Let me, if I can spell, that'd be cool. There we go. Daily Faceoff. Let's see what Daily Faceoff has for starting goalies in this one here. Confirmed, Anthony Stolarz taking on Samuel Montembeault for this matchup here. So these two teams coming into the year, let's break them down. Let me get up the starting lines in this one here. Toronto Maple Leafs, they'll have the one and only Austin Matthews, who is now the captain. They took the seat from Tavares and they gave it to Matthews. Tavares is still on the team too.
Then that gives me a player prop for tonight.
Yeah, Matthews with Marner and Nyes on the top line. I like Matthew Nyes a little bit this year. I think he's going to have a strong year. Tavares, Nylander, Domi, Holmberg, Robertson, Pacioretty, and Comp, Reeves, and Lorentz. Their blue line is Chris Tanev with Morgan Riley, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, now Stanley Cup champion, with Jake McCabe, and then Sam Benoit with Connor Timmins. Their goaltending is the big question mark here because I kind of wanted to see the Leafs go out and get Laurent Brossoit. And Joseph Woll is questionable to start the year. I thought I saw something earlier about Woll potentially playing or not playing. I don't remember what it was. So I need to look that up real quick because I have as the two goalies. Well, he will not be available. Lower body tightness. Okay. So the backup will be Dennis Stolarz is somebody I wanted to see get moved because he was with Anaheim the last few years. He struggled, but, I mean, the defense in front of him was terrible as well. And then on the flip side, the Montreal Canadiens, they're going to be a fun young team here, but there's probably going to be some goals in their game. Nick Suzuki centers the top line with Cole Caulfield, I like to call it Gold Caulfield. And Yaroslav Slafkovsky, their number one overall pick from a couple years ago. Kirby Dach will be on that second line with Alex Newhook and Joel Armia. Christian Dvorak with Josh Anderson and Alex Bure-Boulette. And then Jake Evans on the fourth line with Emil Haninen and Brandon Gallagher. Their blue line's a question mark for me. Mike Matheson and Caden Gooley is on the top line. Lane Hudson with David Savard on the second line. And Aber Zeka with Justin Barron on the third pairing. Their starting goaltender will be Samuel Montembeault, with Caden Primo being their backup. They will be without Raphael Harvey-Pinard, Patrick Laine, and David Reinbacher, which was their first-round pick a couple years ago as well, defenseman, to start the season. And when I looked at the way the line's moving in this game here a little bit, and my original thought was I want to be on the Montreal Canadiens. And I still want to back the Canadiens in this game a little bit, but I want to do it in a little bit different of a way. I think this game is going to be back and forth. We've seen a history with these two teams of now, granted, the last two have gone under, but we've seen both these teams be able to go back and forth and put up goals, and we've seen some overs in these matchups. Especially, I remember last year, a year ago, 2 days from now, it was their opening game or whatever, and it was 6-5 shootout win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I'm going to move on this over 6.5 is how I'm going to start this game. And I'm going to never mind on that one. I wanted to back the Canadiens. Their team total over is 2.5 at -145, though. I do see this as a 3-3 game at some point. So I'm going to move on the over 6.5 in this game, -128. I see the market's not respecting the sharp money there on the under, the line being moved towards the over. So I'm going to take the over here, over 6.5, -128 for me.
You're a bad influence. I've already added 2 plays since we started talking about the NHL. Both of them in this game. One of them I was going to bet anyway, and then one of them you kind of the one that you kind of talked me on to was John Tavares. I took him anytime goal at +155. He still has the A, right?
I believe he has an A, yeah.
But you get your C taken away from you. I'll even take it one step further. What's him to score the first goal of the game? Like I would want to go Tavares first goal. I think he comes out quick and says, "Hey, y'all took the the C from me. Fuck you," and I'm scoring. Like I could easily see this being the John Tavares game right off the bat. So I took him to score a goal. I had the over already at 6.5, and I just took the Maple Leafs to win by 2. I just took their puck line. I could see this one being a 5-3, 6-3 type of game. Where a empty netter at the end will get you will get you the puck line. I think Toronto's going to be a lot stronger this year than a lot of people do. I'm not saying Cup futures. I know they're the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. You don't have to explain to me all that stuff, Nick. I'm not betting them to win the Cup or anything. I think Toronto comes out fast, though, today. Maybe even Toronto first period, something in that nature. First period over. I like the Leafs puck line. I like the over, and I took Tavares to score.
I like it. I do have a future on one of these two teams, by the way, for those looking for my futures there as well. I'm on the Maple Leafs under their point total this year, under 102.5. I'm not as high on this Maple Leafs team as a lot of people are. I think that number is just entirely too high.
Sounds good. I let you go over the chat when we're talking hockey because everybody's talking hockey.
Yep.
By the way, is your CapperTek working on your computer?
I was just about to put up my hockey or my baseball.
It just wasn't loading for me. I've had to do it on my phone.
Let's take a look here. Let me put up display. We're good.
It worked for you. Okay.
All right.
It just won't load for me.
Yep. Montreal money line. I kind of lean in that direction. Yeah. Over 6.5. There you go. I feel like when will the Leafs get? When will we get the Leafs at minus 180 versus the Canadiens again this season? I think plenty.
I think that might be the smallest line you might see from that matchup this year. Because I think the next time, as long as it's in Toronto, it should be minus 200 or bigger. No?
Yeah, I can see that. Aline Leafs minus 1.5. Suzuki over 2.5 shots on goal. Caulfield goal. Yeah, I'd look towards Caulfield as well. Newhook assist. Leafs and Reg minus 120. A lot of Leafs love here. Does anybody like Montreal?
No.
Robert does. Robert's on Montreal. I can see the draw in this game. Yeah. And if you can see the draw in this game, I mean, you can get Toronto or you can get Montreal puck line minus 145. A little expensive there. Never mind. Canadiens first period. That's not a bad way to cut it down there. Yeah, why not? Mitch Marner goal. More and gentlemen, what's good? Untouchable. Blues money line. Yeah, I was on the opposite side, unfortunately. That was the only side Yep. At what point should I cash out of my plus 1,000 Mets future?
You got 1,000? I got 50 to 1 on the Mets.
I got 45 to 1.
I got 50 to 1 on the Mets to win the World Series and 25 to 1 for them to win the National League. So
yeah.
I'm not cashing out at all.
Baseball is nice. Nerfy and Mets first 5. Frogers first 5. Love it. Over and draw. Yeah, I could see 3-3-4-4. It's giving. Let's be a Canadian. Let's go. There you go. Yeah, exactly. I feel like if you like the Habs, it will be later in the season when the Leafs are minus 250 or more.
I agree.
Buchnevich mitching empty nets was a brutal loss. So ouch.
Yeah, I had the over in that game. That was not fun.
I just moved on this game here, and my thought processes on both these teams are the opposite direction. Let's get into it here. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins taking on the New York Rangers. Minus 140 for the Rangers, total of 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. It opened up at a 116. It's now a 139. A big move towards the New York Rangers. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 120. It's a 6 at minus 116 now. Let's take a look at the cash flow where we have 66% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on the Rangers. So they're not super public, and the line is being steamed towards them. 90% of the tickets, 91% of the cash is on the over in this game. The line moving towards the under tells me Igor plays well in this game. The goaltenders for this one here are Tristan Jarry likely, and it's unconfirmed, but I'm assuming it's Igor Shesterkin. I think that's a pretty safe thing to say. Let's get into these two teams. Let's start with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I have futures on both these teams. I have a couple futures on one of them and one future on another. We have the Pittsburgh Penguins being centered by Sidney Crosby. And on the top line with him is Anthony Beauvillier and Drew O'Connor. Evgeny Malkin will be centering in the second line with Ricard Raquel and Michael Bunting. Lars Eller with Rucker McGrody and Jesse Puljujarvi on the third line. Cody Glass, Nola Kari, Kevin Hayes on the fourth line. This forward group outside of Malkin and Crosby looks terrible. Bavillier's bounced around for a few teams. Bunting's bounced around a few teams now. Lars Eller's bounced around a few teams. Puljujarvi can't stay in one spot. On the blue line, Matt Grzelcyk, who the Bruins didn't want to resign, and they know their blue liners a little bit there, and Letang, who that contract is aging like milk. Talk about contracts that are aging like milk. Erik Karlsson's still getting paid $10 million a year. He's on the second pairing with Marcus Pettersson. Ryan Graves and Jack St. Ivany will be your third line pairing. Tristan Jarry and Joel Blomqvist will be your backup goaltender because Alex Nedeljkovic is out right now, and he's going to be out for a few weeks, they expect. They're also going to be without Matthew Nieto, Blake Lizotte, and Brian Rust to start the year as well. So a very poor looking team here with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And I was so close to throwing a tenth of a unit or 0.2 units on a really big 65-1 prop. And the more and more I look at that roster, the more and more I want to bet the Pittsburgh Penguins to finish with the least points in hockey this year.
Ooh.
At 65-1. The only problem is they're not going to go wholesale selling with Crosby and Malkin on the lineup. That's my main worry.
What? Why wouldn't they trade Crosby? Well, they just
re-signed him for 2 more years.
Okay, never mind.
On the flip side, we have a potential Stanley Cup contender in the New York Rangers. Vinny Trocheck will be centering Alexei Lafreniere and Artemi Panarin. Mika Zibanejad's on the second line with Chris Kreider and Riley Smith, who they got from Pittsburgh, who was a Cup champion with the Vegas Golden Knights. Philip Hedl with Will Cooley and Capo Caco create a really fun young third line. And then you got your sandpaper line with Sam Carrick, Adam Estrom, and everybody's favorite, Matt Rempe. Their blue line could be one of the best in hockey. Keandre Miller with Adam Fox, Brendan Schneider with Jacob Trouba, Zach Jones with Victor Mancini. Now, that third pairing does make me a little bit worried. Goaltenders, they have arguably the best goaltender in hockey, and Igor Shesterkin, and backing him up is Jonathan Quick, who was a very serviceable backup last year. And they will be without Jimmy Vesey and Ryan Lindgren to start the year. So for me, it's pretty plain and simple. I am very high on this Rangers team. I am not high on this Penguins team whatsoever. I was waiting for some market respect on the Rangers in this spot. I moved on the Rangers -1 at +114. I have the Rangers over 100.5 points. I have the Rangers to win the Metropolitan Division at +260. I have the Penguins under 90.5 points, and I'm staring at them to finish with the worst record in all of hockey at 65-1 as a long shot future. Am I going to bet the long shot future? No, but do I want to? Damn it, I do. I think that this Penguin team is going to be bad this year, and that made it pretty simple for me. I'm going to back the Rangers here in this spot. I took the -1 line. Do I care that they're on the road against Pittsburgh? No. I mean, this is still a Pittsburgh team that I don't expect to be very good. And just because they're at home does not mean they should be this close. If this was at MSG, the Rangers should be laying $2 in this game for me. So I am on the Rangers on the -1 line at +114 in this game.
I will say when I first saw this line, it was a pick'em. At that line, I wanted Pittsburgh a lot. I didn't bet it right away because I was waiting on some stuff. And then all of a sudden I checked back the next day and it was Rangers -140, and that solidified that I went and I put a bet on the Rangers puck line. I got +170 something for it. All right, what did I get on it? Where is it? Hey, +177 on the Rangers on the puck line. I think they will. This one could easily be 4-1, 5-1 type of game. I'm not taking any player props. It's gonna be about a month until I really start betting player props on the regular for NHL. I find no need to right now. I want to get some data behind some players before I really try to go for it because I want to go after players that are hot. And I don't know who's hot because we haven't seen any games yet. So I'm not going to go after player props, but I'm taking the Rangers on the puck line there.
I like it.
Back to the chat.
Let's get back to it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Robert just continues to do. I mean, with the way I'm going this year, why not? Rangers are so fucking live in this game. I wholeheartedly disagree. Leafs money line minus 105. Where are you getting that? Yeah. Pens plus 124. Fading Penguins all year. Join me for profit. Fading the Penguins. Yeah. Can we go from fade to fish to fade the birds? I want to fade Pittsburgh every single game I possibly can.
I don't think there's going to be any value in that.
I think that here's the thing is I think this will be very much like the Miami Marlins. There'll be more value in it in the beginning of the year, and then everybody's going to realize how bad the Pittsburgh Penguins truly are, and then it's going to adjust. But here's the thing is people are still going to bet the Penguins because of Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
So I would look towards a fade them every time. Every game.
I like two dogs today. That's not one of the Pittsburgh's not one of the dogs.
No.
Now, if it was back towards the Pick'em area, I would have gone to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
When the Rangers were minus 120 and it was even money for Pittsburgh, I was looking all over Pittsburgh. But with the line movement and everything, nope. I would have taken Pittsburgh puck line too.
Interesting. Yeah. I know for me, this game was always Rangers or pass for me. The Penguins were never a thought for me in this game, personally. Raquel goal, Malkin assist. Rangers in the under. Yeah, I can see a 4-1 there. Penn's going to win. We'll see. Bunting plus 250 goal. I hate the Rangers, but Rangers and Reg. Yeah.
Puck line it.
-1, puck line it, yeah. I mean, Rangers minus 105. Fair. Is that a boost or something like that? Because there's still they're minus 140. Hard Rock. Okay. Is the Lightning team gonna be good this year? Yes. That's two futures I do have. I have them over 98.5 points. I have them to win the Atlantic at 5-1. So I'm higher on this Lightning team. When Korpisalo is in net, do we automatically bet the over going forward? Maybe. I also think the Florida Panthers are just that good. And they're not going to take a step back. So I don't hate the Pens decor. It's not bad, honestly. Yeah, I don't like their forwards. Their forwards, other than Malkin and Crosby, are terrible. Like, yeah. What's up, bros? Good day yesterday. Yeah, I was on the opposite side of all three of those, unfortunately. Today's a weird day for hockey. Not sure where to look. Kind of like Penguins. I'm on the opposite side there. There definitely will be value, big franchise, and Sidney Crosby. Yeah, people continue to bet the Penguins because of Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not saying that it's not.
It's almost like
I still just don't know whether or not it would be profitable.
Yeah, I'm very curious whether or not it would be profitable at the end of the year.
But yeah, I think they're going to be favored in a bunch of games still.
Yeah,
it's not like the Marlins where they're going to be favored 5 times this year, 6 times this year.
They were favored a little bit, but
in the beginning of the season.
In the beginning of the season, they were. Yeah.
But then,
Let's go. Fade the birds. Start now. Going forward to keep track of it. Love it. I'm going to sit back with that, and I'm going to figure out whether or not I'm going to join you or not. I'm going to join you on this first game with the Rangers -1. So yeah, I have a Flames hunch today also.
Yes.
Hard Rock always giving out random boosts for teams. Fair. When was the last time Lightning won the Stanley Cup? 3 years ago? Because 2 years ago, or last year was the Panthers. The year before that was the Golden Knights. The year before that was the Avalanche. So 4 cups ago. They have some injuries at forward. Russ, Lizotte, Nieto. Yes. Their forward core is terrible right now. But we'll move on to the next matchup here. I have a lean in this game. I don't know if I'm getting involved with this one. The Winnipeg Jets and the Edmonton Oilers. We have the Oilers -160 favorites with a total of 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot. It opened up at a 167. It's down to a 162. A 5-cent line movement here towards the Edmonton Oilers. Line opened up at a 6.5, and it's down to a 6 now. So the line's moved against the line's moved towards the under in this game here too. We have 76% of the tickets, 88% of cash on the over, but yet this line's dropping. And then we have 88% of the tickets and 87% of cash on the Oilers, and the line's moving towards these Jets. Let's take a look at these two teams heading into this season. We'll start with the road team, Winnipeg Jets. Last year were bounced in the playoffs in 5 games against the Colorado Avalanche. They will be returning a decent amount of players. On their top line is Mark Scheifele in between Gabriel Velarde and Kyle Connor. Vladislav Nemestikov will be centering Nikolai Ehlers and Cole Perfetti. Adam Lowry with Mason Appleton and Nito Niederreiter. And then they got Rasmus Kupari with Alex Iafallo and Morgan Barron. I think overall this forward group is kind of strong. Like this, they look like a team that can return back to the playoffs this year. Their blue line is, I think, underrated a little bit here. Josh Morrissey with Dylan DeMello on the top pairing. Neil Puink is somebody I've really liked for years on that second pairing with Dylan Sandberg. And then Hayden Fleury with Colin Miller on the third line. Their goaltender will be last year's Vezina Trophy winner, Connor Hellebuck. And their backup is going to be Kaapo Kähkönen. They will be without Logan Stanley to start the year. He's a forward there, but they've got plenty of forward depth. On the flip side, we got the defending Western Conference champion Edmonton Oilers. Top line centered by none only than Connor McDavid. Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will be on the wings for him. The second line, Leon Draisaitl, and 2 acquisitions for them, Victor Arvidsson and Jeff Skinner. Adam Henrique will be on the third line with Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark. Derek Ryan with Corey Perry and Vlasiy Polkowski there on the that's just weird. Their blue line once again looks strong. Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard, who I think could be in the conversation for a Norris this year. Darnell Nurse with Ty Emberson. Troy Stetcher with Brent Kulak. Their goaltendings will be exactly the same as it was last year. Stuart Skinner. So now they got 2 Skinners on this team. And Calvin Pickard will be the backup. Evander Kane will start the year out. And for me in this game, I haven't moved on anything yet, but the first thing I kind of looked at was the Winnipeg Jets in this game. This is maybe a spot where I like Winnipeg, but I don't want to fade the Edmonton Oilers for a full 60 minutes type of thing. The first period's plus 120. The full game's plus 145. So it tells me they're more live in the first period than they are the full game. Now, these next 3 games we'll talk about are all 10 o'clock games. I don't feel the need to pull the trigger on this one yet. It's Jets or pass for me, personally. But I don't feel the need to pull the trigger yet on this game. I might bet it, but for right now, it's a pass for me.
I took Vandy. I was looking at college football. I took Winnipeg in this one. Winnipeg's one of my 2 dogs that I actually really like for this series, for this slate, I should say. And you said it should be Hellebuck, right?
Yes.
Any game that Hellebuck starts, the Jets are live, for sure. Correct me, he won Vezina last year?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't remember whether or not he was first or second. Who ended up being second? Thatcher Demko?
He was out for a decent bit. I don't remember
who was second. But I remember
Igor?
Was it Igor?
No, Igor had a dime. I don't remember who it was. I have to look.
Yeah. But any game that Hellebuck is starting for the Jets, they're live. I'm getting some plus money. Edmonton is coming off of the long Stanley Cup run where they lost in Game 7. Right? Was it 7 games? Yeah, it won 7 games. It was 3-0, and they almost came back from 3-0. That's right. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything that was going on in the hockey season. I don't really remember everything. So I took the Jets here. I took them a little bit of plus money. I think the Winnipeg Jets are going to be really good again this year, to the point where I would take a shot with them to win their division. Yeah, I think they could. I think they could win the Western. Sorry, the Central Division.
Central is going to be a very tough division.
It's going to be. Nashville's going to be strong. Dallas will be strong. Colorado will be strong. I think you're going to see Winnipeg right up with them. So give me Winnipeg to win this game. Plus 140 area. I'll roll with it.
Yeah. For that Central Division, by the way, the Stars are plus 220.
Mm-hmm.
The Avalanche 240. Nashville 4-1. The Jets are 7-1.
7-1 on the Jets is not bad value for me. I'll look towards that.
All right, let's head back to the chat. Let's see. Yeah. Flames money line here. I could see it. Pass lean Jets. Oilers puck line in the over 6.5. Jets are pissed. Fair. Oilers probably going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I see a lot of love for them to win the Stanley Cup this year. I don't have any interest in them at the numbers they're at. I would need for them to get off to a slow start like they did last year in order to have any type of value on them, personally. So I will not be on Edmonton Oilers futures. That's one thing. And I rode this team throughout the playoffs last year, up until the Stanley Cup, where my 10-1 ticket with the Panthers had to take over there. But yeah, over McJesus goal plus 110. It's like you're betting on Wayne Gretzky. Yeah. Draisaitl plus 120. Hyman even money. Square as fuck, but who cares? Fair. The return of the blue and gold parlay tomorrow. Buffalo, Nashville, St. Louis. There you go. Jets money line. Yeah. I feel like if you like Oilers at all, it's team total overs. Because I think this year they will be priced really high, money line wise, and the value you'll have to find with them is taking their team total overs. And that's one thing that does scare me, is that these teams with fading the Oilers is they can drop 4 or 5 goals on any given night. And the under, maybe Oilers under 3.5 goals. That's an interesting look. Betting Jets is relying on Hellebuck, and this isn't the game I'd like to do that. That's fair. I'm probably staying off. If anything, I'm taking the Jets in the first period. Oilers are so stacked. Philly and Dodgers, see you next year. I hope. I really do. And what's good, Nicholas Handy. Let's keep it going here. We have 2 more games left in the NHL card, and then we will get into Major League Baseball. We have the Vancouver Canucks. They're minus 200 favorites with a total of 6 in the spot. This line's dropped, though. Line opened up at a 197, got up to a 201. It's now 187. So we do have a move towards the Calgary Flames in this game here. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 113. It's now a 6 at minus 128. So a 15-cent line movement here towards the over. 88% of the tickets and 88% of the cash is on the over in this game, with the line moving towards it in this one. I forgot to go over goaltenders for last game. It is it's Skinner and Hellebuck confirmed for that one there. It looks like our Silvos and Vladar are your goaltenders for this matchup here, which is really interesting. Let's get into these 2 teams now, where we have the Calgary Flames coming in. I don't expect much from the Calgary Flames. They're probably in for a rough year, to be completely honest, and they might flirt with the worst record in hockey this year, potentially. Nazem Kadri centering your top line with Andrei Kuzmenko and Samuel Honzeg. Michael Beckland's centering your second line with Blake Coleman and Connor Zary. They have Martin Pospisil with Mantha and Huberdeau on the third line. Kevin Rooney with Adam Lepaka and Ryan Lomberg on the fourth line. Their blue line is Mackenzie Weegar, which I kind of like, with Daniil Marimanov Rasmus Anderson with Kevin Ball, and Jake Bean with Braden Paschal. Their goaltending situation, Villadar is going to be the starter, and Dustin Wolf's your backup. I would rather back Flames with Wolf in net than Vladar. And they're going to start the year with one injury, and that's going to be forward Igor Sharangovich being out here. On the flip side, we get the defending Pacific Division champion Vancouver Canucks. And they will be centered on their top line by JT Miller with Brock Besser and Danton Heinen. Their second line will be Elias Peterson with Daniel Sprong and Jake DeBrusk. Aturati will be on the third line centering that one with Connor Garland and Niels Hoglander. Words. Teddy Bluger, little addition there they got in the offseason with Kiefer Sherwood and Baines there on the fourth line. Their blue line could be one of the better ones in hockey. Quinn Hughes with Philip Hronik, Tyler Myers with Connor Soucy, and Derek Forbreth with Vincent Descharnay. And then their goaltending situation could be one of the better ones in hockey, if only they can stay healthy. Thatcher Demko is out to start the year, which means they will be with Silvos, and then their backup is Kevin Lankinen, who was the backup for Nashville last year, who looked decent when he came in for backup role. P. Suter will be day-to-day to start the year, and they'll be without Dakota Joshua in this one here. With the goaltenders in place here, I think the over's the play. The more and more I look at it, and it's now a 6.5, which I think it's always been a 6.5, if I'm not mistaken. On Bet Online, it's a 6. And actually, it just dropped 11 cents since I last read it there. It went from 128 to 117. But it's a 6.5 over on Bovada. The 6 is minus 135 for the over. I was leaning over the total in this game. I don't trust either of these goaltenders. I know Silvos looked decent last year, but I think this Vancouver offense can put up some goals. I don't feel the need to get involved with this one because I will be involved with the next game. I'm almost certain I will. It's probably no play for me. I would look towards an over, if anything, in this game.
I took the Flames. This is my second live dog. Those are my two dogs for the day, is the Flames and the Jets. And I know I wanted to wait for the Flames for their first home game when they honor Johnny Hockey. But that will be on the 12th against Philadelphia. I also can't wait for game is it? It's all the way. It's actually pretty far. I wanted to try to find where the Flames played the Columbus Blue Jackets because that would be the Johnny Gaudreau game. But no, I like the Flames in this one. I believe I got a good line on the Flames. I got 181, and I'm seeing some 160s now. So this line's actually kind of dropping, Nick. I think I got a really good line. I'm gonna ride with the Calgary Flames in this one as a live dog.
Fair. I bet the last game, but I did not bet this one.
Okay.
Let's get back to the chat. Let's see. Just the usual same game parlay. Oilers over and anytime point Bouchard. Flames very live here. Fair. Flames plus 173. Dustin Wolf. I saw it was Dan Vladar. If it's Wolf, I'm more interested in the Flames. If it's Wolf, I'll take the over and Canucks small sprinkle on the puck line. Flames money line. Lines change all the time in hockey. Nothing is set in stone. Yeah. No both teams to score in that Leafs game. I mean, I can see a first period both teams to score in the Leafs game. Absolutely. I like the over. Kuzmenko anytime goal. I love this slate today because every game the teams do not like each other. Nice. Flames look live. All low-key rivalry games. Yeah, they kind of are. Small three-teamer, Rangers, Oilers, Canucks. Kind of like that. Over 6. Do not trust Silvos here. Flames team total over. Yeah, I could definitely see a Flames team total over. Over 1.5 goals first period. And still haven't bet the Flames, but might pass. But lean. Yeah. All overstaying hockey? No. Because we'll get into an under I really like in this one here. I moved on the under 6.5 at -120 with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. Let's get into it. We have this line opening up at a -110 for the Vegas Golden Knights. It's now -106 on both sides. Line opened up at a 6.5 at -103. It's now 6.5 at +102. A move towards the under here in this game. We have 71% of tickets, 84% of cash is on the over. The line's moving towards the under. 68% of tickets, 66% of the cash is on the Golden Knights. The line's moving towards the Avalanche. Does make me think the Avalanche are probably the side in this game as well. Let's take a look at these two teams. We'll start with the home team, Vegas Golden Knights, who I expect to step down from this year. Jack Eichel with Ivan Barbashev and Mark Stone on the top line. I still like the top line there. After that's when it can become question marks. Tomas Hertl with Pavel Dorofeyev and Alexander Holtz. Nicholas Waugh with Brendan Brishin and Victor Olofsson. Brent Howden with Keegan Colasar and Tanner Pearson. Their blue line is probably the strength of this team. Shea Theodore with Alex Pietrangelo. Noah Hannafin with Nicholas Hague. Zach Whitecloud with Brandon McNabb. Their goaltending is probably going to have to carry them a little bit as well. Aiden Hill will be your starting goaltender for this team, and the backup will be Ilya Samsonov. They will be starting the season without Wild Bill Karlsson. William Karlsson will be on the IR to start this year. On the flip side, we have the Colorado Avalanche, a team that I was very high on last year. I'm kind of high on this year. I did not move on any futures. I only moved on futures with the Vegas Golden Knights, which I'll get to in a second. Their top line is centered by arguably one of the best players in hockey, in Nathan McKinnon, with Rantanen and Drouin. Both those guys are UFAs on either side of Nathan McKinnon. Could make for a pretty fun year in Avalanche land. Casey Middlestad will be centering the second line with Calum Ritchie and Nikolai Kovenko, which I believe he came over from the KHL. Ross Colton will be centering Logan O'Connor and Miles Wood. Parker Kelly with Joel Kiviranta and Ivan on the fourth line. Their blue line, I think, is one of the better, has the chance to be one of the better blue lines. They got arguably the best defenseman in hockey in Cale Makar, who is basically a glorified forward, with Devon Taves, who is a more stay-at-home defenseman. Samuel Girard with Josh Manson, Sam Malinsky, and Calvin DeHaan on your third pairing. Their goaltending situation, Alexander Georgiev and Justus Annunen. They do have injuries, though, to start the year, which is why their forward group does not look as good as they are. Arturi Lehkonen is out to start the year. Same with Gabriel Landeskog, but they think that he can be back a little bit into the season. And we don't know if Big Val is going to return to this Colorado Avalanche team. Nichushkin, he's suspended for the first 60 games of the season, I believe, with his violation of player something for treating, I think it was alcoholism or something along those lines for him. I'm on the under 6.5. And one thing we've heard a lot from with this Vegas Golden Knights team is what the main focus is going to be on them for this year is because they don't have the scoring depth that they had last year. I mean, they lost within the last few years, and they lost Mantha. They lost Marchessault. Last year, they lost Smith. Like, they've lost a decent amount. They lost Alec Martinez in the offseason as well. They're going to be focusing more on defense. And this is going to be a Vegas Golden Knights team that you can bet unders with this year, I think, pretty confidently. So that's exactly where I'm going in this game. I'm on the under 6.5 here, -120 Colorado and Vegas.
Yeah, we agree on something. I'm on the under. I'm not gonna. Obviously, I don't dive deeply into the games like you do. I just see this one. I know it's the first game of the year, Nick. I see this one as a playoff style hockey game, where you get a very tight game. Would you be surprised to see a 2-2 draw? I would not. I think I might end up adding maybe a little bit of the draw. I think that could be interesting. Let's just by chance, let's go take a look at game props, regulation question. 325 for a draw. I'm inclined to bet the draw here.
I would lean more Vegas team total under than the draw because I would lean more Colorado regulation than draw because I see something along the lines of 3-1 Avs.
I could see 2-2 going into overtime. I could see 1-1 going into overtime.
Fair.
I just see this one as a low game. You know what? I'm doing it. Let's go ahead. I'm only going to put this as like half a unit on my CapperTek. Let's take the draw for the Vegas game.
Good luck. Let's head back, and then we'll get into some baseball. Let's see. Vegas Golden Knights money line. I would lean the opposite way, which, I forgot to go over. I have 2 future bets on the Vegas Golden Knights this year. I'm going to start with the under 97.5 points. And then I took them to miss the playoffs at plus 235. I think this is the end of the Vegas Golden Knights run. How are we feeling about the Jacksonville State spread tonight? I took the Aggies. I took New Mexico State at plus 21. McKinnon goal minus 114. He's only going to get more expensive from here. Yeah. Now here's an interesting prop. A little 2-teamer that you'll probably get a decent price on because they're both pick'ems. McKinnon goal with the Avalanche to win. I think that's a decent look. Mark Stone plus 225. Over and spread for Coastal Carolina and Western Kentucky tomorrow. I need to dive deeper. I need to dive deeper into that.
Coastal.
I was leaning the other way because what did James Madison do last week?
They lost, but I just think 9.5 is too much.
Fair. Vegas decor is beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Vegas is going to be ready. They're going to look like what the Islanders did under Barry Trotz. They're going to be a team you can rely on. I think 6.5s are going to be gone within 4 Vegas games. And we're going to be a week and a half into the season, and we won't see another 6.5 in a Vegas game the rest of the year. Because this team is going to be 5.5s and 6s. That's what's going to be for the Vegas Golden Knights this year. Because they're going to play a lot of 3-2 hockey games. They're going to play a lot of low-scoring games. It's going to be maybe a lot of draws for them, which could kill my under point total. But, yeah. Victor Olofsson goal. Lean under. VGK might sprinkle draw. OT. First period under. Under for 1.5 first period. Don't sound bad at all. If you guys see low scoring, absolutely. Honestly, here's the question is, do I want to double down on that? And take a first period under and a full game under. It's 1.5 at plus 110. So, I mean, the first period under is an available option. And maybe I'll look towards more first period bets later in the season as well. I want a little bit more sample size first.
Yep.
McKinnon, McCarr, assists, parlay, minus 110. There you go. Good luck. You ready to get into some Major League Baseball now?
Yes, thank you.
All right, let's get into it. Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers. Them gritty tags. Pick them on both sides. Total 7 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this spot here, where we have, looks like Alex Cobb and Kiter Montero making the start here for the Tigers. Line open up at a minus 108. It's now for the Guardians. It's now minus 110 for the Tigers in this game here. Line open up 7 at minus 117. It's now a 7 at minus 110. So move towards the under here as well in this game. I have doubled up on both American League games, and I've only had one play on both National League games because I do think the National League Divisional Series come to an end today, both of them. Obviously they don't for the American League. We have 44% of the tickets and 46% of the cash is on the under in this game. The line's moving towards it. We have 43% of the tickets and 57% of the cash is on the Guardians, and the line's moving against them. I think the line move against them, though, is mainly Detroit naming a pitcher. I think that's the reason behind the move there in that one. And for me, I am going to continue to back unders in this series. Why? Well, first, pitching chaos. Love me some pitching chaos. And on the flip side, I'm not scared of either of these offenses. When it comes down to it, each game has had a shutout. And last game, Tariq Skubal threw 7 masterful innings. That bullpen's rested for the Detroit Tigers to go full bullpen chaos today. And on the flip side, you have a day off for the Cleveland Guardians, and they have a fresh bullpen now too. And I don't think Clase does what he did last game. And still, this is the best bullpen in baseball. The Cleveland Guardians. Don't let one game with one swing change your thoughts on that.
Absolutely not.
And I am on the first 5 under 3.5. I'm on the full game under 7. Like I said, heading into the series, I had no interest on any sides, really. I leaned towards Cleveland to win the series. But I told you, if you bet the first 5 and the full game under every single game of this series, you'll come out on top. I'm going to continue at that here. First 5 under 3.5, minus 105. Full game under 7, minus 110.
Yeah, I just went and took the Tigers. I've had the Tigers every single game of this postseason so far. I'm not going to stop now.
Would you back them against the Royals or the Yankees?
Yeah,
okay.
I think I would. I would, although I really like the Royals as well. I was not on them during the Baltimore series, but I've been on them during the Yankee series. That one might be a little bit tough if it's Royals-Tigers in the CS.
I think it'd be easy for you if it's Royals-Yankees, right? Or if it's Yankees-Tigers, right?
Yeah, I would Tigers every game. Just because I've been on the Tigers the entire time. I'm going to be back on the Tigers again today. They are 3-1 this postseason. I've been backing them the entire time. They've been plus money all but last game, and they won last game. So now they're minus 115 or whatever. What did I get them at? I got minus 102. So I'm happy with the line I got. I'll be on the Detroit Tigers in this one again. So Grady Tigers.
Grady Tigers.
Take a 2-1 lead. Do it for Detroit Lenny. He'll be there today.
Yeah. All right.
Lucky son of a bitch. Anyways.
Head back to the chat.
Where did he leave off?
It says 11.
If the Mets win the World Series, do y'all have to hire a Hawk Tua girl as your full-time representative for the team? No, I'll hire Grimace as a permanent mascot. Tigers money line is a Mega Max. Guardians, Montero is not good. At home during the day, have to bet Cleveland until the wheels fall off. I'm on the same boat, but I'm backing Detroit until the wheels fall off. Tigers at home, yes. I bet the Mets money line, yep. And the over in the Dodger game.
I can't wait to talk about that Dodger game.
We'll talk about the Dodger game. That's the last one we'll talk about. Tigers first 5, Phillies money line. I like the Tigers, don't like the Phillies today. Too hard to pick us out on this one. I'm on the under and the Tigers money line. Tigers are actually good during the day. Yeah. If the Mets lose, they have to face Wheeler. They have to win today.
Yeah, I think the Mets are facing the only must-win game down to up 2-1. Because if I'm the Padres, am I really that scared to go back to LA and face Yamamoto again? No. So
Cleveland in the over. No, I'm on Detroit. Montero line is at 3 because he's not going to go that deep.
No, he's not.
Nah, Nick. The first game they went over and I was pissed.
It pushed the under 7 for the first game.
There you go. Let's head to New York.
Yeah, we have the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. It's a pick'em with a total of 7.5 in this game. Let's get into the line history in this one. Ranger Suarez and Jose Quintana. Line opened up with the Phillies as minus 112 favorites. They've gone from favorite to dog. It's now minus 114 for those New York Mets. This line opened up at a 7.5 and minus 105. It's now 7.5 and minus 103. So we have a 2-cent line movement towards the under here as well, expecting Jose Quintana to pitch well. 67% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on those New York Mets. 86% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the over here as well. And one thing I was really looking at heading into this game is what Ranger Suarez has done since returning from his injury, because he was out for a little bit, and since then he's not looked particularly great. His last start of the year, he went 2 innings against the Nationals, got lit up for 6 earned runs on 7 hits. He did face the Mets on the 21st. He gave up 2 earned runs in that game, but walked 3 and gave up 5 hits, so plenty of base runners in 5 innings of work there. He gave up 3 earned runs against the Brewers, 4 earned runs against the Rays. So he's been giving up a decent amount of runs since returning back from his injury. On the other side, Jose Quintana has been really good for the Mets. And he is coming in off of an awesome performance against the Milwaukee Brewers, where he gave up no earned runs on 4 hits, 1 walk, 5 innings pitched. He followed that before that, 2 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, and 4 1/3 against the Brewers. And that was honestly his worst start since August 20th. What he's done for the Mets since August 25th and on has been phenomenal. No earned runs against the Padres, 1 earned run against the White Sox, nothing against the Phillies, nothing against the Reds, nothing against the Phillies, nothing against the Nationals, 2 against the Brewers, and on a back-to-back a week later, he gave up nothing against the Brewers. I mean, it feels like Manaea, Peterson, Severino, and Quintana are all taking turns on who's been the best pitcher in this rotation. And I think Quintana's been the best pitcher of the last month and a half for the Mets. I really do. And I trust Jose Quintana way more than I trust Ranger Suarez in this game. And one thing I've noticed with the Phillies, with that lineup, is when it's a left-handed pitcher, they get extremely top-heavy, which is a problem because Kyle Schwarber is not the greatest versus left-handed pitching. And Bryce Harper has to try to be the guy then, because Trey Turner is going to get his hits. He'll be fine. Castellanos is going to get his hits. He'll be fine. Well, other than that, like this lineup all becomes top-heavy. And you got to keep in mind, on the road this year, the Phillies were 41-40. They weren't a good road team. I think the series ends today. I'm on the New York Mets at -109 is what I got him at this morning, I think. I look for the Mets to wrap it up and advance to the National League Championship Series today. So I'm on the Mets here in this game. I got -111. I apologize. -111 for the Mets here in this spot.
Right, I'm on the same boat. Let's see. I took the Mets, and then here starts some of my player props, Nick. And I'm having a little bit of fun with player props today because I'm going to have 12 total MLB player props today. I had none in the Guardians game. I have 4 for the Mets, 1 for the Phillies, 2 for the Royals, 1 for the Yankees, 1 for the Dodgers. 1 for the Padres, 3 or 4 for the Dodgers. So I am on for the Phillies, Bryce Harper to record a walk.
Yeah.
That is even money. The Mets are going to pitch around him. I do not expect him to see an at-bat every single time up at the plate. So I took that. I took Vientos again because he has been on fire this entire postseason. He got the job done last game, and so I'm going to keep rolling with him. I took Alonso over his bases at +175. I also took Alonso to record a walk because I know he's been very patient at the plate lately. So I can see him getting walked as well, which means he's just going to have to get like a double or something as well. A double and a walk, and I'll be happy with him. And I took Lindor over his bases. If the Mets are going to win this game, he's going to be a big factor in it as well. So overall, this game, Mets money line, Vientos, Alonso, and Lindor over bases, and then Alonso and Harper to record walks.
Fair.
Mets, yes, Mets. It's still F the Mets. Aw, you still sad about your Brewers? I'll have my usual Nerfy in the Mets first 5. Taking 2 units on the Mets. Let's go. Castellanos home run, +500. He's been hot. What Mets player props we betting? Lindor, Alonso, and Vientos. Under.
I can see the under. I see Quintana pitching well.
I'm going back to the over 7.5 leaning Mets. Kind of want to take the over, first 5 over.
I can see that.
Grimace gang, yes, Grimace. You got the Phillies today. You're no fun. I put something on the Mets and Royals to advance to the next round, boosted at plus 510. Hopefully the Mets close it out half of it today. I like it. Fernando is just salty that his Brewers got eliminated, so he's just going to take it out on the Mets. But let's go ahead and jump into the next one.
Yeah, let's get into it. We have the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees. This line opened up on BetOnline at minus 110. It's still a 110. I think I was looking at DraftKings earlier. It opened up at a 110. It's 118 for the Yankees now. And then line opened up in an 8.5 at even money. It immediately went down to an 8, but then since then it's gone up 14 cents. So do with that as you please. 72% of tickets, 76% of the cash is on the over in this game. The line's moving towards the under since the opening line, but immediately moved down to the 8, and since then it's gone up. So once again, do with that information as you please. 70% of the tickets and 78% of the cash is on the Yankees in this game. The line is moving towards the Yankees in some spots. Others, it's not really moved too much. And let's take a look at the pitching matchup here. Seth Lugo taking on Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt, I believe this is his first appearance, and he's pitched, I think, once since returning from the injured list. No, he's pitched a couple times. No, he's pitched plenty. Okay. He's throwing a 3.65 ERA, 1.30 WHIP, 9.49 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%. 3.65 walks per nine, a 3.08 BABIP, a 3.69 FIP, and a 4.09 SIERA. On the flip side, Seth Lugo, 2.28 ERA, 0.9 WHIP, 8.46 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%, 1.3 walks per nine, a 2.70 BABIP, a 2.19 FIP, and a 3.45 SIERA. Looking at this game for me, yes, we are now in Kansas City for this matchup here. I still think the Yankees win the series. And I'm on the Yankees here in this game. This was a game I had kind of circled a little bit to back the Yankees. Line's moving slightly in their direction, and so the books are showing a little bit of concern with the Yankee money, which is nice to see on this side. Clark Schmidt does make me a little bit nervous, but I think he's able to pitch well in this game, well enough. And I do think that the Yankees can get to Seth Lugo. And I think this is a game where Soto steps up, Judge steps up like they need them to, and they win a game very similar to game one, where it's like a 6-5 type of Yankee win, something along those lines. I doubled up on the Yankees in this spot. I'm on the Yankees first 5 at minus 115. I'm on the full game at minus 116. I got them to take care of business in this game tonight. If you want to take a shot, being a little bit of a New York state of mind, Mets, Yankees money line, and if you want to make it even more interesting, the Rangers as well. But for me, I'm on the Yankees. I doubled up on the Bombers here in this spot.
I'll be against it. I took the Royals. I'm back in Seth Lugo. I kind of like this Royals team. I've been backing them a bunch this year, and when it comes to it, is there a pitcher I could trust? I guess Cole Reagans.
And here's the thing that we haven't even seen Brady Singer in this series yet for the Royals.
True. I really think that this is a good Royals team that's going to be able to really push it to the Yankees. They already won last game. I'm not a big fan of Clark Schmidt. Although he was a lot in his limited starts, he was a lot better on the road, but it really wasn't a big sample size. I think Lugo has a shutdown game. I took a couple player props from this one as well. Obviously, I have the Royals money line. Let's quickly get that out of the way. I took 2 player props from the Kansas City Royals. Give me Tommy Pham over his bases, plus 165. Salvador Perez over his bases, plus 140. Ready for a little bit of a sweat for this one, Nick? I parlayed Judge under a hit and Judge to record a walk at plus 290.
Why not Judge to record a strikeout?
Because I'm pretty sure I don't think I could bet that. I probably could bet it, but because Judge has been awful in the playoffs.
That's been a career thing for him too.
Yeah, it has been. Batter strikeouts. Hold on. Oh, minus 240 for him to strike out.
Jeez. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, that's not worth it at all. I mean, you could add that to the parlay and it's plus 446. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna add it to the parlay. And it's gonna be plus 440 for Judge under a hit, over a walk, over half a strikeout. At plus 440. And that's all of a small bet on that one. Let's roll with Judge under hits, over walk, over strikeout.
Good luck.
Why don't I take a little bit of a shot? Kansas City -1. Game of the day, do the damn thing, Royals. Please, Royals. Royals money line. Yankees, Lugo Day against Clark, Sweaty, Nerfy, and Royals money line. Okay. I like the Royals. Royals first 5, Yankees full game in the under. I got the Yankees to win pennant. Didn't bet, but they should bounce back today. They own Kansas City.
Yeah, I do think the Yankees win the American League.
That's sad. Yeah.
And I think
there's no reason for them not to.
I think it's either Mets Yankees or Padres Yankees in the World Series when it comes to the end of it here.
Yeah. Royals play better at home. I agree. Yankees under. Yeah, I've been crying nonstop since they got eliminated. That's fair. Trust me, I would too if it was in heartbreaking fashion like that. Yankees money line. Is Bobby Witt finally going to wake up? I did not bet Bobby Witt props, but I could definitely see him waking up. This one might be, I mean, besides the Mets game, the biggest game of the day.
This game I've been looking forward all show to talk about because I dove deep into this game with the baseball group chat, which ended up landing me on a total in this game. This line opened up with the Padres as -110 favorites. It got all the way up to a 142, and it's down to a 125. So we've had a big buyback here on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Line opened up at an 8.5. It got down to an 8, which I wish I saw. I know actually I saw that earlier, and then that's why I went with what I did. 83% of the tickets and 78% of the cash on the over. Yet this line's moving towards the under. And then we had 34% of tickets and 77% of the cash on the Dodgers. The line's moved towards the Padres, but there's been buyback on the Dodgers in this game here. And one thing I was really looking at with this game is it's Dylan Cease and it's Landon Knack, by the way, the pitching matchup here in this one. So most likely a bullpen game for the Dodgers in a do-or-die game to defend your season. $1 billion organization's relying on a bullpen game. Okay. And it's Dylan Cease on short rest, which I'm not a fan of personally. And the way I was looking at this game is the books have told us what the play is in this spot. Because when you compare the Royals and the Yankees game and the Padres and the Dodgers game, the Yankees game is juiced towards the over at 8. The Dodger game is juiced towards the under at 8. The first 5 for the Yankees is a 4. With the full game juice towards the over at 8. The Dodgers is a 4.5, the full game juice towards the under at 8. So that tells me that we see something very similar to what we've seen so far this series already, which was game 1. The score was 7-5 Dodgers at the end of 5 innings. The game finished 7-5 Dodgers. In game 3, the game started 6-5 Padres mid-3. The game finished 6-5 Padres. Bullpens have been phenomenal in this series. In game 2, the Padre bullpen only gave up 1 run in the 9th inning, and it was a Muncy Chris Paul hits a 3 to cut the lead down to 37 type of moment because it was 10-1 at the time. So I see this as a game where you take the first 5 over 4.5, and then once the 5th inning is over, you start betting some unders. Once this Padre bullpen is into the game, if Dylan Cease can do enough to where the Padres are winning the first 5, they're winning this baseball game. The pen comes in, shuts things down, and they move on the championship series. The Padres in this game. I'm on the first 5 over 4.5 at -110. That's the only thing I'm on. I think the lines are telling you everything you need to know about this game. The line's dropping towards the under full game, but it's not moving first 5. And it's a 4.5 on an 8 when the other game's a 4 on an 8. And the juice is completely different. I think this is telling you everything you need to know about this game. Give me the first 5 over 4.5 at -110.
I'm going to go with the over with you. And even though I know you mentioned the whole thing with the bullpens and everything, over will be up on the site just because I kind of like that play. I'm also thinking this series is going 5. And just you can't have both series. Well, we'll see what the Mets. We'll see what happens in the Mets game, but they've got to at least have a game 5 in some series with a rivalry game. No one, in terms of the playoff looking, the only 2 big rivalries are in the NL. Because nobody really cares about Tigers Guardians in terms of a rivalry game. Sorry, Tigers and Guardians fan. And I look at it, there's got to be a game 5, and I think this is the game 5 here. I think the Dodgers bounce back after that game. And I think they tie up the series. Tie up the series at 2, going back to LA. And that LA game in game 5 is going to be crazy.
And the Padres win in 5.
That's fine. Let this go 5. This is going to be a big, because this is a big series, obviously. You got to think that the MLB wants this series to go 5 games. This series has been this has been the craziest series so far. So plays for this game, I took the Dodgers. Money line, +121. I took the over, 7.5 at -112. I did take a prop from the Padres. Fernando Tatis over his bases. I took 3 props from the Dodgers. Mookie Betts and Teoscar Hernandez over their bases. Shohei Ohtani to record a walk. So I rolled with all that. I really do like the spot for another series to go 5 games. Give me the Dodgers in this one.
Fair.
Over 8 and the team total over. I can see the team total over.
I could see, going back to the Padres team total over, I think is worth a look too.
Padres money line, just end it. You own LA. They should. Doesn't mean they're going to. First 5 under. What's the Padres record versus LA in the playoffs last 10 games?
They won 2 or 3 so far. They won 3 out of 4 in 2022, and they lost in 2020. I don't remember what it was.
There you go. Padres first 5, Dodger full game. Gonna be a sweat. I don't hate it. Good pick. First 5 over. Cease will get hit up.
I think Landon Knack does most of the getting hit part, but yeah.
What about a ladder? Over 9, 10, and 11?
Maybe.
Could be. Have all the home teams winning. Yeah. No, I don't see I have the Dodgers in one of them. Dodgers, Tigers under 7, Padres over 8 parlay. I like it. Dodgers, Yankees winning nothing today. I think the Dodgers win, but I'm sure I just bet the over 8. Dodgers are live for sure. I agree. Dodgers are live. Mets are the championship or Tigers.
Which are the champions or Tigers? I could see Mets Tigers in the World Series.
That would be an awesome World Series, but Detroit Lenny would be insufferable. We would have to do World Series shows.
We'd have to do live streams with Lenny, right?
Although I have to work, so Morning, Behedity. Padres, Dodgers totals over both bullpens suck.
The Padre bullpen's been awesome, and it's the best bullpen in baseball. So I will disagree with you wholeheartedly on the Padre bullpen.
Last night game after 4 innings, 0 runs. Yeah, exactly. You got no. The bullpens have been fantastic. That is everything for today. Everything of mine's on the CapperTek, which I'll put into the link in the description below. I have posted my college football plays. There's 31 up on that. I have posted all my baseball. So today, if you go and follow me over on the CapperTek, you will find, and you follow me, I'll give you a week's worth of plays for free. On there today, you'll see 4 MLB sides, 1 MLB total, 12 MLB player props, 2 NHL totals, 3 NHL sides, and NHL player props, and all 31 of my college football plays for this week. NFL will go up sometime in the next couple of days. So all of that is over there. Nick will put his CapperTek there too, and we're going to see. Not going to happen again, dudes. Total over. I agree. It's going to go over.
I know. I bet the first time over.
Good luck, y'all. Good luck, Munchie. Tatis Jr. on steroids again. I wouldn't be surprised. But he is just insane. There's Nick's CapperTek. Thoughts on Washington-Baltimore?
I feel like that's a lot of points for the Ravens to be laying, but I think they're a big favorite for a reason potentially. That total is super high, but I think it's super high for a reason. It's over 52.5. The total in that game. I would lean towards the over.
Yeah, kind of looking towards the over. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one. Peace out, guys. Oh, and let's go, man.